Going on, guys? The Film and Everything Podcast. We're back. I know we've been a little late with everything going on. We were in Orlando for like the past week and all that, but we're back. We checked out Mandalorian. We're gonna review today episode 2. Before we get into that, I did want to kind of go through real quick about what we thought about episode 1 that we saw the past week. We just couldn't review it. We weren't in town. But we're back now. We're really excited to talk about it with you guys. So thank you for watching or if you're listening. So Mandalorian, the show's been. It's the next. This is like the next big project since Star Wars has been pretty on hold. Since what, Solo? We haven't really got anything, right?
Yeah.
We haven't. I don't. So
Yeah.
2017, was that 2017, 2018?
I think it was 2018.
Last Jedi was 2017 December, 2018 May was Solo. So we haven't really got anything since then. So Star Wars has been in a pretty bad state, I guess. You know, it's at an all-time low right now with the division of the fans and all that. So this show is kind of a big deal. This is what's going to determine whether Star Wars is heading in a good direction or bad direction, since the movie's still not out till December. That and the video game, which I'm hearing good things about. That we'll talk about that in a separate episode. But from right now, what did you think of briefly on episode 1? It's the pilot episode. It's what's gonna make or break the show. And does it lead to a good direction for Star Wars?
Yeah, the first episode was really good. It's really good. Yeah, I know it's like short, it's like 30 minutes, but it was really good. It's like dark, which I like. The character is great. The main guy is really cool. Like his armor.
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
From Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, he was the Prince.
You murdered
Oberyn.
her. You that guy?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
in season 4.
Okay.
It's really good, and it's very practical, which I like the characters, and I like the fact that there's a lot of like those weird characters, like those alien type characters, which is cool because you don't get that in the new trilogy. So
No, yeah, they definitely. I mean,
and
the showrunners here, you got Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and then I believe George Lucas helped a good amount. Let me fix you here before we.
But who are the other directors for the feature? I think it was like
They got a good amount of people.
I think it was like that Taki Watiti guy who won.
They got him in one.
I'm curious to see their like
take on the episode.
like
I
their
don't think it's gonna be. They gotta stick to a certain theme for the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm curious about, because I really hope when like he does an episode, it's not different.
Yeah, like it's not too different to where it feels off
Yeah.
from the rest of the show. I don't think so, because from what I'm noticing right now.
Yeah, but it's been Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah, the second episode was directed by someone else. I think it was Ray something. I forgot his last name.
Not that I think it's the Jon Favreau.
He wrote it. He wrote the first 2 episodes. So I think the writers is sticking to the same group of writers. They are getting different directors, which is fine. It's
But
good
also
to have a
the
different
action
take.
too. I really hope the action is that. Some like they cut too much.
I don't think so. Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, I really loved the first episode. It was such a good introduction to the show, great pilot. I mean, it felt like Star Wars. It was really nice and refreshing. The show feels fresh, but it still has the familiar aspects of what makes Star Wars Star Wars. You know, there's a lot of little Easter eggs of characters from, the original trilogy, and even sometimes a little bit the prequels, when, the little flashbacks and stuff like that. I really loved the first episode. I thought it was a great start. It gets me. It's what. Watching that first episode, it's like, this is what Star Wars could be like when it's in good hands.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. That's what I came out of after watching that. Jon Favreau, I saw a picture on Instagram the other day. I showed you. It was Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas all sitting together watching the daily footage on set. And it's like that's the combination you need, you know. Not the Kathleen Kennedy Ryan Johnson duo with J.J. Abrams. I like J.J. Abrams. That was a whole mess, you know. But with watching this show, it felt so refreshing, and so it just felt right, you know. And that, by the way, we are gonna talk spoilers because there's no way to talk about this show, you know, without talking into spoilers. There's just no way. So we are gonna. This is gonna be a spoiler discussion for both episodes because they add up to an hour. The show it's like 30 minutes an episode, which people are kind of complaining that it's a little too short. I'm fine with it as long as the pacing of the story is well. If that's what they need to tell the story, I'm fine with it because this was supposed to be a movie at first, and then it's 8 episodes. If it's 30 minutes each, it's like 4 hours, so you get a long movie here. I prefer that than having them cut out over an hour of footage and making it into a movie, and it probably wouldn't work here, you know, because I do think I like where the story's going. The first episode's great. It sets up the character well. It set up the world very well, you know, like the scoundrels and the bounty, you know, the Mandalorians.
But I think the one thing for the Disney Plus, I think they should release the episode in a set time. I don't like the fact that it's Friday. Okay, here's the episode, because some people are doing something and then there's spoilers on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. From now on, it's every Friday.
Yeah, but I think it's not like at a certain time. I think it's like 3
a.m.
Yeah, but people will stay up to watch it at that time.
That's not much. It's better than
I would like
with Netflix that they just let you binge watch.
I would have liked more like a set time, like when you watch like Mr. Robot on Sunday, like at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe that would work.
Because with the way they have it now, people will stay up till 3 in the morning, watch it, and spoil it for other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Which sucks because then you have people who will do that. You know, because like the new thing on Twitter is posting just the image.
Yeah, just massive spoilers on Twitter.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can if it is on Friday, just make it Friday night or something.
Yeah, just put a set time. I think that's like just because so everyone can watch it at the same time.
It's safer though for Disney. I get why they did it. It's just everybody's schedule's so different, so it's like okay, it's out Friday. Whatever time you can watch it. As long as it's they'll get more views out of that. I think that's why they did it. I don't really have a problem with it. So far we haven't really been spoiled, and it took us a couple days, I think, to watch the first episode.
Off, like Twitter and stuff, so.
And there wasn't really much of anything going on. Now I do think after the second episode it is becoming more of a thing. I like it though. I like the weekly basis. I don't like. We talked about this before with Stranger Things, like the whole binge watching. You can't really appreciate the show enough. You know,
because imagine watching the 4th episode of Stranger Things with Billy and
then having to wait a week, but you can't process each episode. You're just watching, and it's like a zombie. And then when it's over, you're like, oh, okay.
Or
if it was a weekly basis, like this show or like Game of Thrones or other shows where each week you're watching, you get to let the episode sink in. You think about it, you talk about it.
Yeah.
You start to feel, see how you feel about the episode. You start speculating what's coming next. That's better. Even with this show so far, in the first 2 episodes, we saw the first episode and it left us excited, but it gave us time to really just dissect the show and just really see how we feel about it. And, you know, which I loved it. I thought the soundtrack is great for the show. I love the practical effects. You can tell Star Wars fans are making this. These are people who care about Star Wars. You see it all over
and
the
it's
show.
pretty dark. It has good dark moments.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel Disney-fied or something.
Yeah, because he kills people, and it's not afraid to like show it sometimes.
Yeah, it's not like gory or anything, but it's well done. It's well done.
But at least he show it.
Yeah, it's really well done. The first episode was great.
And it's weird because like there's no like lightsabers or none of that.
Yeah, no, it's just the Mandalorians and the bounty hunters.
Yeah, which is cool. Like that's
the scoundrels. It's like the deep part of Star Wars.
Yeah, you can do like the whole thing about the bounty hunters and.
Yeah, and so far it's working. And the first episode left me. I had an idea of the world feel like what I was saying, Disney-fied or something. It doesn't feel like Disney had their hands all over this, like
Yeah,
the,
I mean,
the trilogy.
Yeah, because Disney,
Here,
they
you can
tend
tell
to,
this was them just being like, give it
Good-
to these guys. They know what they're doing. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
And it's working out great. I mean,
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like Disney does step in
oh yeah.
and ruining. I mean, look what they did
Look
with
at the
Mayans.
sequel trilogy and
No,
yeah,
and-
what's going on with Mayans and stuff and
look what they
effects.
did with that guy.
Yeah, so
So
with that being said, the first episode we loved it. Now, the second episode, we did get that big twist at the end of the first episode that
Did
I'm
you say
surprised
it?
was a secret all along. Yeah, this is a spoiler episode. So if you haven't seen it, just go watch it. It's 30 minutes. Come back and check us out. Because there's just no way to talk about it without
yeah,
spoiling it. It's just, especially this episode. So,
and they announced season 2 already.
and they announced season 2. With this, sorry guys. So, I mean, the ending of episode 1, we essentially get like a baby Yoda, like from that species.
It's not Yoda, but it's from the same
It's
race.
his type of species, yeah, which we
Yeah.
don't know
But we just
yet
don't,
what it is.
Which is true because we know nothing about Yoda,
No.
like where he's from.
And I
or-
love that. I think we're starting to go into that now. We're gonna find out about his race and what's going on there. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, I thought it was gonna be like a, I don't know, like an original trilogy character.
Yeah,
or
an
something.
original trilogy character or somebody,
But or like another Jedi.
Yeah,
But
because
this
it
is
does
like-
make sense. This takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So, the Empire's fallen, but they're still kind of hidden underground. They're still trying to find their
and
way.
what I like too is the trailers, man. Like it's so like doesn't show none of that.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to be about this. So
It's really
cool.
about so far. Like it's about him with this.
This bounty hunt.
Or I don't know if it's a baby or a little
It's
man.
a baby. They just age differently.
Yeah,
It's
a little man.
yeah, they age differently. But I mean, that was a great ending. That
That got
the
me
first thing I
excited.
thought of when I was watching the pilot, I was like, okay, they need to come out with a bang here. Like, and they started off strong with the action scene. They built the world, and then the good cliffhanger ending with a huge twist to keep you hooked.
Yeah.
And it worked. Now the second episode, I loved it. I mean, I love where the story's going. I love the character of
I
does
have
he
spoken.
have a name?
I just call him I have
He's
spoken.
just a Mandalorian, right?
Oh,
He's
the Mandalorian, the guy.
yeah,
that I
the
have spoken.
Mandalorian. He doesn't have a name or anything yet, right?
No, they just call him the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. I love.
He's a
That's
Mandalorian.
Nick Fulte. What's his name?
Yeah. He's Charlie Thunder, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
Nick
what-
Nolte. Nick Nolte. That's his name.
Yeah.
I love that character
Looks
that I have
shorter, though.
spoken. Yeah, I don't know how they did that, cause he's a big guy.
He's pretty big.
Unless it's like his face with
Another person's,
body. I don't know.
or they CGI him smaller.
I don't know, but it's really well done.
Unless
I love it.
unless it's like shot different.
I don't know, because that's not his body at all. But I love it. I love his character. I love his "I have spoken" thing. That's cool. The writing feels right. The even the humorous scenes feel right. It doesn't feel like that Marvel humor.
It's not in your face.
It's not Marvel humor. It's very subtle.
Very subtle, which I like.
Um,
And the Yoda things, I love it. Like, because they could have easily just done like a CGI little thing.
And
But
it's
it's
all
practical.
practical. This
And you
show
see
so
it,
far
which is
has
cool.
been
But it's funny because when he grabs them, it looks fake when he grabs them.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a little toy.
yeah.
It's kind of funny.
But I feel like they're fine with that. I don't know. It's just like
But I'd rather have that than a CGI.
yeah. It feels real. It's like there.
It's a lot cuter than a pork.
And I love how everything's so practical, even the ships and the flight, you can tell it's miniatures, but not even in a bad way. It's a compliment. It looks good.
Yeah, even the ships look different compared to like to the movies. I mean, watch the new trilogy.
Because you can tell it's an actual model, and they're shooting it a certain way, and
Yeah.
it feels more authentic than just seeing a CG ship
and-
flying around.
And that character, I don't know. I'm just gonna call him the little Yoda because I don't know what the
Yeah, you can
species.
say Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda for now until we find out what they're called. But that character, if I was in that situation, I would literally defend that
Yeah.
character with my life because
Yeah.
it's so funny. It's teasing. Wait, we're in spoilers, right?
Yeah, this is spoiler.
and he's powerful because he was trying to heal him when he got injured. He was trying to heal his arm.
Yeah.
So what if? Yeah, because like with Angry Joe, what he was like tweeting at that guy. They all like if about how with Ray, how people like with the difference between.
Yeah,
Ray,
because people, I'm assuming these are people who don't like the show or something. They're like, oh, so people complain about Ray lifting rocks, but a baby Yoda can, lift an animal. Essentially, it was like a huge rhino type of
which I
animal.
didn't know that was from not Clone Wars, from the Attack of the Clones. But the thing is, it looked so much better than Attack of the Clones. I couldn't tell.
That's probably why. Yeah.
Yeah, because the CGI is a lot
And what he said was a good point. He's like, first of all, we don't know about the species and how
'Cause-
powerful they are,
yeah, 'cause
because
they
we know how powerful Yoda is. That's,
I mean, he was the grand like master, or whatever.
And when he did he used all his energy to stop this rhino from attacking the Mandalorian, and it exerted all his energy. He passed out.
And he was asleep for the rest
He
of the
was
episode.
passed out the rest of the episode, just sleeping. So it shows him using that energy, and it took him down.
Yeah, because even
With Rey, you can't really compare that, because she just lifted a boulder of rocks,
no,
and
like,
she's
that was like easily 50
effortlessly,
boulder. And then drops it.
Then drops it, and she was fine.
Because even in Clone Wars, there's an episode where he was training as a Jedi training. He tries to lift up a little rock, like one boulder.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it, and he got weak. He fell to the ground.
Yeah.
He drained his whole
They
power.
try. You can see them exerting their energy. You can't really compare that. You can't.
Because Rey, she just
She just
50
does things.
boulders,
Yeah.
and then just drops and hugs Finn.
Yeah.
That
So
doesn't
that's
make
one
sense.
thing. Again, when you see Star Wars fans, people who care for Star Wars, when they're doing
And plus,
this, has Dave Filoni, and you can tell it just has. It feels right. Everything feels right. Everything seems.
I mean, watching them on the Chef Show, the way they're talking about Star Wars, you can
they're
tell
fans. They're huge fans,
of
especially
it.
Dave Filoni. I mean,
look at John. He named his dog Arkbar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Arkbar.
it's great, and I love where they're going with the story so far. This episode, we get to see the Jawas. I think they're called.
Yeah, they're from the original.
From New Hope, and they steal parts of his ship, and he has to get it back. That's when he fights the Rhino. I love how simple the episodes have been. They're simple but straight to the point.
I do hope it does start like.
It's gonna lead somewhere.
Yeah,
we already know that.
yeah.
But I like how it's taking its time. There's 8 episodes. I'm sure some episodes are gonna be longer than others. This episode did feel shorter. It is like 30 minutes flat.
Yeah, it was. That's like a Clone War episode.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it, because
as long as it's good.
I feel good about this pace. It's a good pace. We're getting a little dosage every week. Because it's true, you want quality over quantity. You don't want an hour-long episode of something that you're bored 20 minutes through.
Game of Thrones season 8.
Or that kind of happened to me with Daredevil season 3. It was a little too long, and it's like that formula of like, okay, we need filler. And I was
that's what the 3rd episode of Game of Thrones with the big battle.
Yeah.
It felt long, but they were kind of dragging it.
Yeah. Here you got 30 minutes. It's effective. It's getting the story across. Right now, it's this Mandalorian.
Yeah,
he has a task. It's a
fix-
big task, which I love how it's like
Yeah,
this underground thing, and it's him taking, and he keeps it alive. He's taking it back. We don't know what his motives are yet, but you can tell he's starting to build like a bond with this thing, and so now it's leading towards that. This episode, the second episode, did feel kind of like just a little obstacle on the way, because essentially the whole episode was about. It is an important episode because it shows what Yoda can do. Like, well, not Yoda, baby Yoda can do.
Yeah, how he has the Force.
Yeah, it's this side obstacle. Yeah, this episode was about the baby Yoda and what it can do and what its intentions are. It tried to heal the Mandalorian.
Yeah, because it
saved him. It saved him from the rhino animal.
Yeah.
And then he got the egg. He got his parts back, and they keep going. So this was kind of like a pit stop of an episode to kind of show you this is what this character is. Now let's keep going. And I love it because it's taking its time. It's not too long, but it doesn't feel too short either. It's taking its time. It leaves you wanting more. It's building the world really well.
Yeah.
I already have a better establishment of what the world is here in this show than some of the movies, because it's like, okay, you know, with the I Have Spoken character, you see like the animals, and he talks about his ancestors and the
Which
Mandalorians.
the animals that he rides is from Clone Wars, which is cool.
So it's like how his ancestors rode those things, and you're getting backstory. You can tell whoever who's writing and doing the show, which is Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas was a part of this. You can tell they know what they're talking about. It's not just things happening and you have no backstory. You don't have any idea of the world building. And here, these guys know what they're doing, and you can feel the world already within these 2 episodes. You enjoy it. It feels good, and you have an idea of where they are, and you're seeing familiar characters and species, but it doesn't just feel like complete fan service. It's just, this is the world, and that's where they are, and that's, it feels like you're in Star Wars.
And I'm just
don't feel that at all with the movies.
I'm just curious.
It's a big step up for them.
About, who put the baby Yoda there, who was guarding the Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they were guarding him.
Yeah.
So, who put him there? Who was protecting...
The Empire, this hidden underground empire, they wanted him.
And the fact that they kind of lied to him, saying that he was the only one, but
they have a bunch of people going.
Yeah, there's other people going after this baby Yoda. Who put the baby Yoda locked in there, and who was protecting him? Who was the one?
I think it's going to... I hope it does. I think it's going to answer.
What if it was maybe a I don't know, a Jedi, to kind of like what Obi-Wan did with Anakin and Leia.
This is, I think we are going to find that out. This is a big deal. This is going to be something that's going to lead to the future of Star Wars.
Because someone hit him.
Yeah.
He was hidden and then hired these men because he was.
And the underground empire knows about it, and they're trying to get. So somebody is taking care of him. Somebody left him there.
Palpatine, maybe that has something to do with Palpatine trying to get to that creature.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's more just about this underground.
Yeah. I mean, because I was.
Yeah, we still can't go. Maybe after Rise of Skywalker, we can see where this is leading. Because I do think this character is going to be very important. This is going to lead to something big.
Yeah.
I do think so, because that's a pretty important.
For the next trilogy of films.
Maybe just for the future of Star Wars in general. And I love this. This feels right,
Yeah.
and because the sequel trilogy, you can't line it up. The sequel trilogy has been such a mess that we can't. Possibly. There could be a possibility of this character showing up in Rise of Skywalker. I don't think so, because it's been a mess, but there's a possibility because it's 30 years later. So
and they live Yoda lived
Or this could be just if this little Yoda is 50 years old, and another 50 years is probably still like a teenager, I guess, quote unquote. It's gonna grow a little bit more, but it's still essentially a baby. So. This could be something for the future, the very future of Star Wars.
My guess, maybe for the next trilogy.
Yeah, because if they age very slowly, that could be. Yeah. That could be it. Yeah, I love it. I
don't know, because we're gonna see what Rise of Skywalker, because we have to see how does Palpatine survive, how does he come back.
Yeah.
Because was he alive during?
I'm not even trying to think of that.
Because who's in charge of this underground empire?
Yeah, right now here you can tell it's just what the remains of the empire.
Yeah.
You have the dirty stormtroopers and all that, and so far with this episode.
Why do they want this creature? Unless my guess is they want him to train him, I guess to have a
force sensitive
child on their side.
I do think it's gonna get into this episode was more about just him and his abilities. They wanted to show, hey, look, he is force sensitive. He's pretty powerful. So, because that's what this episode's all about. He gets that egg from the animal, gives it to the Jawas and the Jawas, and he gets to his parts back for his ship. They leave.
End of episode.
So it's kind of like.
And he wakes up at the end. He's fully recharged.
Yeah. So. It's just establishing what this character is. How does it end? How does this episode end?
He's flying away.
Yeah.
In space.
On to the next thing.
Now he's going back to his people.
Yeah, so
but the thing is, what's his... Because the thing is, they lied to him.
Yeah.
Saying that, he was the only one, kind of. Right? Is that what he told him? That there was a secret...
very top secret. Nobody else knows.
Yeah, but there was a whole bunch of other people.
He has a bunch of people, yeah.
Yeah, so... And is he going to, betray those people? Or is he going to, give them away?
Yeah.
That's the thing we don't know.
Let's see.
We don't know. Because we don't know his motives yet with his...
Yeah, it's a very simple episode, this one.
Because when the robot in the first one was gonna kill him, he stopped him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to kill him.
Although he gets more out of it being alive.
No,
But it was a different,
But it was because after he shoots him, he puts his finger.
Yeah, he's like in shock. He's in shock.
Because he kind of did like a little flashback, I think, of him how he was trapped in the door or the droids.
Let's see. I do think these first 2 episodes were just kind of establishing, okay, this is what the story's going to be.
I think the 3rd episode is going to be a big...
it's going to start moving. Now's when
because
they
now
already
he's gonna be
established the
back.
world. They established the characters. I'm assuming this is going to be kind of like this side-by-side thing. This is the big bounty hunt, that it's going to change what this character is.
Because everyone wants this Yoda.
Yeah,
the baby Yoda.
And this is big. This is a big deal. This story is going to lead, I think, to a very big, significant thing for the Star Wars universe. That could.
I have a feeling a Jedi must come in some point.
Yeah, I think it's going to impact the rest of the future movies because this does take place after Return of the Jedi.
Well, I think it's a few years after Return of the Jedi.
Probably, yeah. They did say that it's gonna go into kind of like the rise of the First Order, which you can kind of see it now already. They're underground. Now how Force Awakens does is that they come back full fledged, just full decked out and better than ever.
Which I mean, like I saw a tweet like, oh, I don't get it. How come is it that the Resistance or Rebels, whatever, they never upgraded their gear?
Yeah, like they get destroyed in a movie when they've been in power for the past 30 years again. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I am. This show, I mean, I love. It shows that Star Wars can be for television.
Does that mean for Snoke as well? Because Snoke is in.
I don't know.
Because that's the thing where it gets kind of like confusing.
Yeah, I'm like watching this. I'm just watching it. I'm not. I don't even want to think of the sequel trilogy just because. Because I don't know.
Because if it leads to the rise of the First Order, it has to. I mean, I don't know. I have to wait and see.
Yeah. Literally, just let the show run. I'm not even thinking about the sequel trilogy anymore because it's just like.
Yeah, because it doesn't really do like a set time period. Like it's after. It's like after Return of the Jedi, and then it kind of shows the rise of First Order. That's it.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah. No, but I mean the show so far, these past 2 episodes are great. This episode was really good. It's a very simple episode, but it establishes what it needed to establish is that this little baby Yoda is powerful. It has good intentions. It tried to heal him.
Yeah,
and
it's good. Like
it saved the Mandalorian's life, which is a big deal because that's probably gonna start he might start, caring for this thing, and it might change his motives. Maybe he won't give it back to the Empire. It's too big. I think he knows it's too big of a thing.
If you notice when he was killing the Jawas,
yeah,
how the baby was kind of like looking at him weird.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like what he was doing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think it's gonna change his character, and his character. This is when his character arc begins to form, because I mean, it saved his life. Now I think he's starting to see that this is actually pretty serious. This is not just like a regular bounty hunt for some smug that did something or stole money. This is like, good versus evil, like the Sith versus the Jedi type of thing. Like kind of, it's forming back.
In the episode, it shows like he doesn't know what it is. Like he doesn't know what he did.
Not yet. Yeah.
He doesn't know about the Force and none of that. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because even the other guy, the I Have Spoken, he was all like, "What did he do?" And he's like, "Oh, like he didn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he did."
So that means this takes place a good amount of time after Return of the Jedi. Like the Jedis are already kind of like a myth, and
no one knows about the Jedi.
Yeah. So I love that. So the show is definitely heading in a good direction, very good direction.
I just hope
the humor with him and the little baby Yoda was cool.
Yeah.
It's a cute little baby Yoda. If they start selling this thing in merchandising, it's gonna make so much money.
Fuck the porgs.
Yeah, literally the porgs were just there just for merchandise. But this you can actually, it's a character that you can.
But they probably won't do it now because what do you name it? You have to wait until they release the name.
So this is gonna come out every Friday. Until Rise of Skywalker, that weekend that Rise of Skywalker comes out, that Friday, it's not going to come out that Friday. It's going to come out Wednesday, 2 days before.
Yeah.
So that you can watch.
Crazy. Like you're going to like watch the final episode.
No, there's still an episode after that. That's like episode 6 of the 8. It's not the last episode yet.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was the last one.
So they're just releasing it early so that they don't want to affect views for either the movie or the show. So watch it early and then go watch Star Wars. Skywalker and all that. I'm loving the show. It makes me very hopeful for the future of Star Wars.
I am curious because there's so many. Who left him there? Why were they guarding him?
We got what, 6 more episodes?
Like why were they guarding him? Like,
yeah.
Why does the Underground Empire want him so bad?
Yeah, it's the future.
Because they're paying like big, you know.
It's the future. I love it. We got it. It does. It's the future seems. It makes me hopeful for Star Wars again because when it's under the right team, when it's under the right team, this is what you can do. You know, and so far with the first 2 episodes, they've done that. It makes me excited for Kenobi. I'm hoping Kenobi's good. I'm not too excited about that Calcian show.
No, but I have a feeling they're gonna cancel that.
I don't think that's gonna go. That's gonna go all the way.
Yeah, I think they're gonna cancel.
But with this, great. I'm hearing the game is really good, so that's 2 pluses for Lucasfilm right now. I'm hoping Rise of Skywalker delivers. But this show is a great. Star Wars can be for TV, and that was like the main thing we were worried about, and it's working. It's working out great. Anything else? I mean, what else? These are very simple episodes.
Yeah, they're very simple. Very simple.
Very
the only
simple.
thing really is the
pacing is good.
Like kind of like your theories, I guess. Like
yeah.
What you think is gonna be.
I don't know. I don't even wanna. I genuinely don't know. But I for the first time I actually trust the filmmakers that are doing Star Wars now, and this is why I do feel Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, George Lucas. He can't, but Dave Filoni, get that guy under a creative. Make him the Kevin Feige. Have him oversee everything in Star Wars. Have Kathleen Kennedy just do her producing, but have Dave Filoni be the creative executive for this. Like, have him oversee everything. This guy was literally taught everything by George Lucas. And he's there working with George Lucas and Jon Favreau and doing the show. And the show so far has been great. Yeah. So this shows this guy needs to just be in charge of Lucasfilm. You can't have... I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy's a great producer, which she is. She's done great movies, but she's a producer. She doesn't know anything about Star Wars. And it shows. She doesn't know about Old Republic. So for her, it's just like, that doesn't matter. I don't know what that is. You need a creative team that knows the lore and can really, for her to trust them and just be like, you know what? Okay, here's the funding. Go do this.
Do a movie.
He should.
I don't know why
he should have his own trilogy.
I think it should have been J.J. Dave Filoni and another director.
And George Lucas kind of overwatching everything. Yeah. That would be perfect. But Kathleen Kennedy, you can tell she doesn't know.
I was surprised that Dave Filoni didn't get to do at least one of the new trilogy films.
I don't know.
Because that guy lives and breathes Star Wars.
But this this was Disney being ignorant. They're like, let's just get new filmmakers and it doesn't matter. And remember, they canceled Clone Wars. They did a lot of things that people didn't like, and now it's backfiring on them. Now they're like, okay, let's get Dave Filoni on. Jon Favreau, he's done well with us. Let's get him. George Lucas is helping out now.
I'm surprised he didn't do one of the movies either.
George Lucas?
No, Jon Favreau.
No, I don't think it was his thing. This show matches his style. I like it. So this shows get the right team on board, and I think this is gonna teach Disney like, okay, this is working. Let's keep the same group. Let's keep the similarities here, because
we're going on a huge break after Rise, so we're not gonna get anything for a while.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I think Kathleen Kennedy's done.
No, I have a feeling the Mandalorian might come out next year because they're.
No, yeah, the TV shows is gonna keep going. Then we have Kenobi and all that, but the movies there's a big pause. There's a big break.
Yeah, because
it should be.
Yeah, because I don't even think they're doing the Old Republic trilogy.
Because Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know anything about that. That's why they need a Dave Filoni, the creative guy, to tell Kathleen Kennedy, hey, I know about Star Wars. This would work. Let's fund this movie. Let's do it. And she, as a producer, she's got to trust him because he knows what he's talking about and just be like, okay, let's do it.
I think they should give...
we get good quality films.
They should give Dave Filoni like the Old Republic trilogy. I think that would be really good.
They should give him anything at this point.
Because I think, imagine him doing the Old Republic trilogy.
Yeah.
Because he would.
He knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff. Deep dive really good into that trilogy.
He knows his stuff. So I mean, yeah, I love the show so far. It's been great. I'm really hoping it keeps pulling through, which I think it will. I have a good feeling. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Want to give like a rating, or you want to, or do like a final like when the season ends rating, or like an episode by episode rating?
For this episode 1, I'd give it like a 9.
Or would you want to do like we did with Game of Thrones?
Episode 1, I give it a 9 for sure. Um, maybe can I give it a 10? I'd have to. I want to rewatch it because we saw it in the RV, and I feel like I want to watch it like on a bigger
I'm gonna
screen.
give them both a 9 for now.
Yeah.
But when the season does end, then I will see if it's a 10 or a 9.
I give it a 9.
Like, I don't want to give it a 10 yet because 10 is like a
10.
like
perfect. Yeah.
I
do wish like
9s.
the violence was a little bit more. Like when they're blasting people, I wish there was a little bit more of impact. Like I'm not saying like full on blood.
Yeah. Blasts do feel a little weak.
They feel like you can tell like it's like killing them or something, but you don't like you see the blast.
Yeah, but that's
I'm not feeling impact. I don't want to say like full on blood squirting like John Wick.
No, but like in the original trilogy, when they shoot a sword, should be like a hole.
There should be at least be a hole. That's all because you can tell it's just an explosion.
But I feel like that's with Disney because with the Fallen Order game, people were complaining, that there's no like limbs coming off.
Only for machines, but not the stormtroopers.
Yeah, because you're with the lightsaber and you're cutting off their arm, but it doesn't show it.
Yeah.
But I think that's
it doesn't even show the holes in the animals when you kill like a beast. It doesn't show the hole in its stomach when you do
the show or the
in the movie. I mean, in the game.
In the Fallen Order?
The gameplay I saw, yeah, you can tell it just doesn't show anything. It's like, okay, I get no blood.
But you
gotta have something.
I feel like that's not the. I feel like
no,
that's
it's Disney.
That's
Disney.
Like saying, you can't have that.
No, yeah, that's definitely
Disney. Because the
Disney.
original trilogy, it had that. It showed the.
Yeah.
It showed
and
that, but I
it
don't
was
know
still
why,
PG. Like it wasn't even.
I don't know why they are doing that.
Because
Disney is just.
Yeah.
I mean.
They're a little scared with that stuff for some reason, but I'm not even saying blood. You don't have to do the blood.
No,
blood.
But at least show a hole.
Show a hole opening up when he gets blasted, not just a little spark, and then that's it. That's the one thing that. The actions are great, but that's just one little thing that's like, it would sell the impact a little bit more. That's the only thing, and that's Disney. I know that's Disney.
Yeah, that's just Disney, and they can't do nothing about that.
Family friendly. Gotta keep it family friendly, I guess.
But it's really,
that's a little extreme. You don't have to do blood.
Like that because Disney. I mean, look what they're. I'm going off topic, but look what they did with Mayans.
Yeah.
And that I got because I was watching Mayans. I don't watch it anymore now.
Yeah, and especially with this, with the violence, it's like.
But that's to show you how.
They gotta pump the brakes a little bit. Like I get it, you gotta be family friendly. You're not putting any blood, but you can show a little hole, a blaster hole. If the original trilogy did it and those were PG.
No, but I mean, does the new trilogy have that? I mean, the
new trilogy doesn't have anything.
When Kylo kills the Red Guards, I guess.
Yeah, and that was like one scene, for. But let's see. Again, it's only 2 episodes. Maybe we'll see more with that.
No, but when they shoot him, yeah, but he does shoot him with that bullet where it like they.
Yeah, you can tell they're trying to figure out different ways to do the violence so that. You have an impact, because that's like in this episode I was fine with that. It's just when the blasters, give me a little hole or something,
But I feel like that's not.
Because you can tell. That's Disney. That's Disney.
Because even the game has that issue, and it's a game. Like I don't.
That's just Disney. Like, hey, don't overdo the violence. It's kid friendly, so. But
just stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can do a little black hole like the original trilogy. It's like a little black hole.
That's all you have to do, but whatever. I mean, what can you do? They got to keep it as clean as possible, I guess, But, I think we can wrap this up. We're like, 40 minutes? Anything else before? The episodes they're pretty simple. I think now is when now it's introduced. We're established. Now I think the story's going to really start going.
I do hope the 3rd episode, it's not like a random thing.
Not like a side quest. No, I think that's it. Now it's gonna start.
I do. Okay, that's it. Now we got the first 2 out of the way. Now let's start the story.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna do.
Yeah.
It established the world and everything.
I feel like if it does it again, like this episode, the second one.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, okay, wait, this is we're 3 episodes in and it's already like the same kind of like formula.
Yeah.
But if it's because we're getting 30 minutes.
The first episode is straight on.
No. Like
the second episode did feel.
The first 2 is fine, but for the 3rd now you got already that's one with the story.
People were saying the second episode felt like it could have just tied in with the first episode and made it one, which it could have. It would have been an hour.
Yeah.
It feels like these 2 could have been one episode.
Yeah, it could have.
And then ended, and then
because the way it starts is the way it's like just do it in one.
Yeah. So.
Which is weird.
But
I don't know. Yeah,
They got to make it into 8 episodes. Remember, this was supposed to be a movie at first, and I think they got the chance to tell the full-on story. Now I think they just kind of divided it. 8 episodes.
But I think it would have been better. Yeah, but again, I don't know.
No, I think it's better as a show because you're getting a 4-hour story as opposed
But
to.
it is true. The first 2 episodes should have just been combined, though.
But then you would only be giving people a 6-episode show, and we don't know what's coming next. So I think they want to pace it well and keep it. And either way, it worked out because the first 2 episodes were within the same week.
Yeah.
Tuesday and Friday, so it didn't really matter.
But I just.
I think after this, it's gonna start picking up.
The first 2 are great. But the third one can't be like 2 again. I mean, 2 is great. I loved it, but it can't be like about this one little side thing.
No. I think that's it. I think it's picking up.
I hope. Okay, now let's start moving into.
First 2 were just introductory episodes, getting you familiar with the world and the characters. I think now it's gonna start. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. He's flying back, so now's when it's gonna get interesting.
Yeah. Now I really hope now. Okay, that's when it really gets into it. And
for sure.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So.
But the first 2 are great.
Yeah. I'm ready for the next episode. We gotta wait a week, but I'm all for it. Yeah, guys. Let us know what you thought of the first 2 episodes of the show. Do you agree with us? Or are you not fans of it so far? Or the camera did this again. Let us know what you thought. If you agree with us, you disagree, whatever works. Feel free to give us a like or a subscribe if you like our videos on YouTube. We want to keep doing more. We're gonna do these every week, right? Just every week, just talk about the Mandalorian each episode, kind of like what we did with Game of Thrones. Oh yeah.
And like he's like cool.
Yeah.
Like in the first episode when he grabs the turret and throws it like.
No, yeah, it's great. It's honestly so good. It's really refreshing. I
like the fact they made him badass.
Yeah. So.
And you see it, Cool.
Yeah. Let us know, guys, what you thought of it as well. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're listening, feel free to leave a review or rate us on iTunes or any of those things. We're on all the platforms. And if you're watching, thanks again for watching. We really appreciate it. We're trying to do more with the YouTube. Like and subscribe, if you like it. Yeah, dislike too. Anything is good. It helps with the algorithm. It helps show that you guys enjoy this. And we're going to keep trying to make it better and better each time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.